When you think of CrossFit, you probably think of keeping pull-ups, maybe Matt Fraser or Rich Froning, or the fact that CrossFit's just one big cult. What I decided to do was to ignore all of the stereotypes and actually just get stuck in for 90 days and go and see what it's like for myself. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing my experience of CrossFit for 90 days. So what I'm going to cover in this video is exactly why I did it. I'm going to talk about the results, the actual workouts, the community side of things, the pros, the cons, so you'll be able to see whether CrossFit is something that you might want to try for yourself. So why did I decide to try CrossFit? So I've been training for quite a while. I was a personal trainer in the past. I now have a business helping people stop drinking alcohol. But in the past, I was a personal trainer and people used to say to me, what do you think of CrossFit? So I'll be entirely honest. I had no idea about CrossFit. I just knew nothing about it. But I heard other people say that it's difficult and it's bad for injuries. It's not good for beginners and all of this stuff. So as soon as somebody said, what do you think of CrossFit? Well, I'm a personal trainer, right? So I'm just going to be saying, well, it's okay, but I've heard that people get a lot of injuries. Really, I had no idea what I was on about. So what I decided to do was just ignore because I know that there's a lot of information out there. People say good things, bad things, and so on. I just decided to ignore all of it and just go and see what it's like for myself because I've been training for a while now. I've tried strength training. I've done the whole bro splits. I've done the upper lower. I've done the 5x5. I've tried all of these things and I just wanted something new. I wanted a fresh way to train. I wanted something to look forward to. And I just wanted to give it a go because there's a lot of judgment around CrossFit. So like I said, I just decided to ignore it all and give it a go. So the first thing I'll talk about is the training itself. So the training itself is pretty awesome. The way that the workouts are in the gym is basically the whole gym follow a program. So the program is quite structured. It's maybe not the best program in the world. It's pretty basic, but what you'll usually do is you'll typically have classes in the morning, then classes in the evening. So the classes will be like 6:30 a.m., 8 a.m., and 9 a.m. Then there's a gap. There's a bit of time where the gym is open and then you'll have some evening classes. And the way that the classes are is you'll typically have some kind of strength movement. So it might be a front squat, a push press, a clean and jerk, a snatch, a variation of these things. You'll typically have some strength movement that's focused around, a big compound lift. And then you'll have some conditioning stuff, which will be, typically like skipping and burpees and running and maybe clean and press and all of these different things. So yeah, it's typically strength and then conditioning. And then what usually happens is the whole class do the workouts together. So there'll be multiple people doing the class at the same time. And basically there'll be a leaderboard in an app on the phone. So you'll actually have this app, it's called Sugar WOD, and you'll get it on the mobile phone and you'll all put your scores in. So basically you're competing against the whole gym and you'll have different variations. So you've got RX, which is the normal amount of weight that's like the prescribed weight. So maybe it might be 135 pounds, but then you can also scale it back. And then in the leaderboards in the app, you'll have the RX and then you'll have the scaled versions. So from my training in the past, it's always been squat, bench, deadlift, bent over rows, pull-ups, that kind of stuff. And the training is different. It's a lot more functional. So you've got things like handstand push-ups, gymnastic stuff. You've got like rope climbs, lots of cleans, front squats. The training is just a lot more broad. It's not just about getting strong. It's about cardio fitness and it's about metabolic conditioning and it's about strength. It's about gymnastics. It encompasses a lot more stuff. Now, for somebody that's done the same thing for so many years, at first I'm thinking, do I really want to be climbing up ropes? And I was a little bit resistant to it all at first. But eventually I just said, my ego is kind of stopping me from progressing and really enjoying it. So I just tried to put the ego aside and just get involved. And it just slowly but surely started to grow on me. The first month was freaking hard. The training it was so difficult. My cardio was like a zero and, I just have to push and push and push. And I was like coming bottom of all of these leaderboards. But then you could quickly see the progression. So, by month 2, there was I remember there was one guy in the class and I was always trying to compete against this one guy. And that was my goal. It was just to be as good as this guy. And then slowly but surely, I was going probably a little bit more frequently than him. I was getting some extra training sessions in, some longer cardio sessions. And then I got to this guy's level. And then the next goal was to get to the next guy. And then, it was really enjoyable and it's competitive. And basically, it pushes you to just keep going hard and keep training and make sure that you keep showing up. And that is really, really enjoyable because I've spent so long training alone in the past that this was just something completely new. Now, in terms of the actual results, the results have been pretty good. So I'll explain the results. So my strength has not really changed so much. I've learned how to clean. I've learned how to do clean and jerks. My snatch has improved by quite a lot. But these two movements are something that I've never done before. So we still do deadlift. We still do squat. We still do some push movements, overhead press and bench press. they're just not as frequent, and the training is not structured around trying to get a maximum squat or a maximum deadlift or a maximum bench. And in the past, I've kind of been always worried about the numbers. So my strength has not really improved so much. I'm going to be 100% honest. It's just kind of stayed around the same, maybe even gone down in a little bit, because I just don't hit the movements as frequently and there's probably not as much volume. But my conditioning and my cardio is just totally different. I've never had such good cardio in my life. Now, actually, there was one thing that kind of spurred me on to doing this, and it was when I was in the hospital and I got my resting heart rate checked, and it was pretty high, and I just remember seeing it. I was thinking, that is not the best resting heart rate ever, and that was kind of what spurred me into actually giving, CrossFit a go, because I thought, oh, get the conditioning back and get the cardio back. Man, in the workouts at the beginning, I was nearly dying. I was just so out of breath. It was really hard. So yeah, that's like the main result comes from the cardio. And also, interestingly, a lot of people talk about injuries in CrossFit and how, there's loads of people getting injured and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, there's probably an element of truth in there. However, what I found is that I had a golfer's elbow at one point. I had like a bit of tendonitis. I also had a bit of a knee problem, a bit of tendonitis in my knee. And I'm not just saying this, but these problems have actually gone away. Not sure why, not sure if it's related. The warm-ups that we're doing in CrossFit are pretty intense. There's lots of, mobility stuff in there. You're doing a bit of stretching. You're having a proper solid warm-up, which is something that, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I kind of skip the warm-ups quite regularly and just go straight to, a couple of warm-up sets and then just going for it. So in my own training, injuries have actually gone down. Now, I'm not saying that if you're a beginner that you would have the same experience as me, but in my case, I've not been injured yet. And these little niggles and these little aches and these pains have actually decreased. Now, in terms of energy, my energy has been pretty good. Like, I've been making a lot of YouTube videos. I've been doing well in my coaching business. I help people stop drinking alcohol, as some of you guys already know that are regular viewers of the channel. But my business has gone well. I've had good energy for my clients. So my energy in my personal life has actually been really good. Now, again, not sure if it's related 100% to CrossFit, but my energy has been pretty good. Now, in terms of the coaching side of things, the coaching, when you first begin, you go through 3 one-to-one sessions where they take you through some fundamental movements, the snatch, the pull-ups. They teach you a little bit on how to do the kip. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a touchy subject, right? But they teach you a few things. You go through a bit of coaching one-on-one. Now, my girlfriend also did it. My girlfriend has got some experience with weight training. She's probably more of like a beginner level. She went through the fundamentals training. I just did one of the sessions and then just got stuck in because I just wanted to get on with it, But that was a good part of it. Now, the coaching in the actual workouts is also really good. I was actually really impressed with that. Even though there's classes with, 8, 5, 10 people, whatever, if a coach sees you doing something wrong, then they will come and address it. They will come and say, tweak this, tweak that, which has been really helpful. Sure, you've not got the intimacy of a one-on-one training session with a coach that can look at every single detail, but because I'm more of an intermediate lifter, that was just enough. That was just what I needed. A few tweaks, somebody saying, lift your chest up when you're about to snatch rather than being like this. And these little things, these little tweaks were just perfect for me. Also, I decided to work with one of the coaches in the gym on a one-on-one basis just to kind of improve my cleans and my snatch. So I actually hired a one-on-one coach, and he is really good. He was really impressive because I've got no idea about these movements. I've never done them before. Squat, bench, deadlift. That's what I know. That's what I did. That's what I used to coach when I was personal training as well. So doing these things like a snatch and a clean and jerk, I'm pretty clueless. And so yeah, I'm really happy with the coaching side of things. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is the community side of things. Now, at first, I was a little bit reserved. I remember after my first workout, somebody walked up to me and gave me like a fist bump, right? And I don't know about you guys, but when I go to the gym, I don't really talk to that many people. I kind of just go, get my workout done, kind of avoid eye contact and just go in there and get it done and get out of there. And that being said, the people are obviously very friendly. People talk to each other. You can see that there's little like groups of friends in the gym as well, which I think is really cool. There is a good community side of things. There were also events that they're hosting. There's like a Christmas party going on. They had like a Christmas workout. If there's somebody's birthday, they'll create a workout around the birthday. So it's very about the people, which I'm not used to. It's been so many years of, just not really talking to people in the gym. I'm not saying that I didn't meet friends in the gym, but this is totally different. Kind of like everybody's involved. You don't just kind of there are people that do their own thing, but if you go to the classes and you do that kind of thing, there'll be people that you see and you'll kind of push each other. And that is actually a really good thing. I actually really do like that. Whilst I might not be the most sociable person when I'm at the gym, it's still nice to have that community element there, see the same faces, say hello, just have that little bit of interaction, which I think is really good. And especially at the moment with all the COVID stuff that's going on, it's kind of nice to have, some people to talk to. Now, my favorite thing about CrossFit is the fact that I just love training now. I don't feel like I have to drag myself to the gym every single day. Sure, there are days where I don't 100% want to go, but generally, I do look forward to going to the gym. I look forward to it because every workout is different. Sure, it's programmed, but there's always going to be something that they change. They never do the same thing twice. So that's like really, really enjoyable, and my motivation for training is just extremely, extremely high. Probably the highest that it's ever been. There was one period where I had very high training motivation, but at the moment it's really, really high, and that was really good because we had a big lockdown in Thailand. I was training twice a week at max, and then what I did after the lockdown is I hired a coach. I just did kind of like the typical bodybuilding, 8 reps, 10 rep stuff, and then said, right, I want to try something new. Went to CrossFit, and since then, motivation has been extremely, extremely high. What about the cons of CrossFit? Well, there are a couple of cons that I've noticed. The first is that if I was a complete beginner starting with CrossFit, I'm not sure that would be the absolute best thing. Now, some people may disagree. Some people may say that it's perfect for beginners. But if I was a beginner, like these complex movements, these snatches, these clean and press, it's very, very difficult. And sure, there are scalable options for this, but I just don't know if it's the best thing for a beginner. It also depends on people's goals, right? I'm pretty happy that I went through like a strength training thing at the beginning and kind of some bodybuilding stuff, got a lot of food in me and went that route, and now gone into CrossFit as more intermediate, more advanced in the gym. Whereas if I was just starting from ground zero, not sure if CrossFit would be entirely appropriate. I would also be a little bit afraid of injuries because you're doing technical lifting, right? You're doing advanced movements. And for some people, that will increase the risk of injury. Now, because I've had some experience, that wasn't too much of an issue. But, my girlfriend sometimes complains about the back aching, and it's hard for us to train together. When I'm doing my exercise, she's doing hers. I can't really go and start tweaking everything, and then the coach might be busy. She might make a few errors there. So there is that as kind of like a con. So would I recommend CrossFit to you? Well, if you're kind of an intermediate lifter that's had some experience, you've done, the squat, the bench, the deadlift, you've done some bodybuilding stuff, you've done that kind of training, and you want something new, I do recommend it. I'm not going to stop going now. I'm actually going to continue CrossFit. Sure, I'll probably throw in a little bit more strength training stuff at the moment because one of my friends has just come back to Chiang Mai, but I'm going to keep doing the conditioning, going to keep doing the cardio because it's just so much fun. The energy in the class is awesome. The competition is awesome. And overall, I'm actually going to give CrossFit a 9 out of 10. It's actually one of the best things that I've done in months. I just absolutely love it. I'm an enthusiast now. I'm a member of the cult. No, just kidding. But you get the point. But anyway, guys, if you click the videos on the screen now, you can learn more about some of the benefits that I've found from not drinking alcohol, as well as my experience of stopping drinking. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace.